Hi, I'm Julie Hamill. I'm the social entrepreneurship coach at the District 3 Innovation Center. D3, in short, is the Innovation Center for the University, for Concordia University. We've been around for over 6 years, helping startups make an impact in the world. Cool. And throughout the discussion, if you have any questions for our attendees for Anie, please do it in the Q&A, and I'll make sure that Anie gets to answer your questions. So I'm so happy. Welcome to our D3 dialogue. We've been doing these since the pandemic started, and we have a great guest today. So the title is The Social Entrepreneur's Journey today. And I love to introduce you to Anie Rouleau. She founded Baleco in 2012 with one goal in mind. It's to help businesses and individuals reduce their environmental impact. Baleco, which is a B-Corp-certified company, became renowned for their fragrance-free concentrated bulk products, this time for the B2B market. And in 2016, Baleco launched the Unscented Company across North America, a complete unscented, refillable home and body care destined to the retail market. Instead of the B2B, they went for the retail market, which Anie will have to explain how she managed to get in, because that space is so difficult to get in. It's so busy. The Unscented Company products can be found at top retail locations around the world, including Goop, Canadian Tire, Whole Food markets in the States. And just last week, Anie got sought out by Urban Outfitters. So I'm looking forward to hear the story about it. Anie, welcome. It's your show. Go for it.
Thank you. Well, it's a pleasure to be here. I think today I'll just put in my presentation. So, perfect. Is everyone can see it? Is that it?
Yeah, it looks good. I'm getting lots of yes. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You're getting us. Okay. I think, Julie, maybe the way we could start this, maybe the way I started the Unscented Company, would that be something I could start with?
Yeah, please.
You know what? At 42 years old, when I started the Unscented Company, I had the opportunity to start a business. And I figured that I would start something that would matter to me. I was 42, I had 2 children, and for the first time, I knew that I could start a business on my chain of value that would do some goods, that would be healthier, would be better for the planet. And since the age of 20, I've been intolerant to all fragrances. So I've been producing my own cleaning products, home and body products. So I figured that I would start a business in the home and body care that would be efficient, that would be natural, that would be exclusively unscented, because that's what I was intolerant to. But I would never be just a soap company. I wanted to be a company that would, a soap company is part of an industry that creates a lot of plastic bottles, a lot of plastic packaging. And I said, you know what? I will not be a soap company. I'll be able to create a line that would be sustainable also. And everything I will offer will be in bulk, will be in concentrated as much as I can to reduce our plastic footprint. So I was able to really address 2 issues: having good, healthier, biodegradable products combined with plastic packaging, reducing the single-use plastic packaging. So in 2012, for me, it was something, because Julie, back then, you're asking someone to buy eco-friendly cleaning products. The first thing they would tell me, oh, come on, Annie, it doesn't work and it's too expensive. Second, they would tell me, I would tell them, well, you know what? It's unscented. Oh, come on, Annie. If it doesn't smell lemon, it's not clean. And third, I would say, you know what? Why don't you bring back your bottles? I will refill them so you can save a bottle from going to the landfill. So I was asking a lot to the customer. But for me, my mission was to be able to change consumers' habits and reduce collectively our plastic footprint. So it was never just to start a soap company, but have a mission behind it.
And what was the thing that made you click and say, I'm putting my eggs, let's go, I'm going all in? What was the moment déclencheur?
Le moment, you know what? It was tough. It was a first 4 years that really was difficult, because just being unscented, everyone told me, you know, Annie, it's not going to work. Everyone loves lavender. But I could see my sales, and I could talk to people saying, oh my God, finally unscented products. And the moment I saw the plastic ocean, that turtle with the straw in their nose, that image really hit everyone. And then the business started to make sense to everyone. So for me, that picture was when the business started to grow. And that's 3 years ago, 4 years
Wow.
ago, max.
So, hey, tell us the story of Unscented then.
Ben, the story about when it started, that's it. So in 2016, the Unscented Company was always on my mind, but I trademarked it in the US and Canada. And it was always a no, because I could not trademark the name Unscented. So it took me a good 4 years to get it approved. And on November 16, 2016, it was approved, and which happens to be my birthday. And I figured that was not just a coincidence. And I started the Unscented Company because the name for me was important. I was giving to the consumer exactly what the product was. It was nothing but the Unscented Company. So all the product were unscented. For me, it was more than a name. It was a positioning, a marketing positioning to be strong in a market. Now, don't get me wrong, every soap company has an unscented version of their product line, but they don't put any effort in it. And it's always the last one they don't care about, because their whole business model is based on the best fragrance, like Ocean Breeze and Mountain Dew and Niagara Falls. It's all about redefining the pleasure of a scent, which I agree, love. Don't get me wrong, I love flower scents, and I love going in my garden and smelling the lilas right now, or walking inside the house and smelling cookies baking. But chemical smell to me was not something that I believed in. And I wanted to have a very clear positioning with the Unscented Company. And everyone still this day opens up the bottle, smells the bottle to realize the product is completely unscented.
We have a question.
Yeah.
Did you wait for the trademark before starting to sell? Or
Absolutely.
did you use your place in the market to leverage to get the trademark approved?
Absolutely not. I did not want to jeopardize, or I did not have enough experience. So I was going in the States, I was going across Canada. I didn't want to jeopardize it. And I did not sell one product before, or showed my name or showed my logo to anyone until I had the official paper from my lawyer.
Awesome.
I absolutely, for me, since I did not know if someone could copy it or whatever, for me, my brand was the value of the business.
Wow. At one point, there's another question. Did you feel that the battle of the trademark Unscented was hindering the start of your company?
Actually, before the Unscented Company was launched in Canada and in Canada and the US, and launch being 2 customers, so it's not a big launch. It was just getting 2 friends of mine in Florida that I knew that could buy the products. Before that, I had a brand name OH for office and home, because I was selling more to B2B business. And with that brand, I was able to really get all of the problems getting through them. So when Unscented was launched, the formula was good, the quality was good, my experience after 4 years was better. So the launch of the Unscented Company was much easier, much seamless than when I started the business in 2012. So in 2016, I was ready to launch Unscented Company, and the quality of the product was up to par. I had done all the little things, the product doesn't work, or I had contamination. Why redo the formula, improve the formula, get better natural ingredients over the past 8 years? The green chemistry has really improved. So yes, now Unscented Company is what I really wanted.
Cool. We have another question, and that's going to lead into your other slides that you have.
Oh my God, thank you. I'm not using my slides at all.
No, so it's going to
Okay.
answer, the slides will answer a lot of the questions that our participants have.
Okay.
So they were saying, what were you doing prior to the Unscented Company, which is Balero.
Balleco, yeah. Balleco is the ink. It's like, I like to say it's a Procter & Gamble, and Unscented Company is Dove or whatever they own, Tide. I grew up in an entrepreneurial environment. Both my parents were entrepreneurs. My mother had a company or a store, a retail store of paint and wallpaper. And my father had a company also where we would build power lines. So everything, the transmission and distribution power lines, not in my field at all, but I realized very early at 10 years old, at dinner time, we were talking about cash flow, growth, crisis, meaning economy, recession. But I saw something much bigger that made me wanted to become an entrepreneur, is that we lived in Saint-Isidore de la Prairie, which is a very little village on the South Shore of, I want to say 5,000 people, or maybe 7,500. And my father was in charge of the Christmas parade, was in charge of all the activity in the village. And therefore, as an entrepreneur, the community was very important to him. And the community really wanted my father to get involved. And even just one little thing, and very quickly, I don't want to talk about that too much, but something that really triggered me is that back then in 77 or 76, the Vietnam boat people came in Canada, and all the village, my father organized to bring some money together, buy a house, so we would welcome a family of 12 people to live in that house that did not speak a word of French nor English, that we would take and integrate in our little village of 7,500 people. And he organized all that. And for me, that's when I knew entrepreneurs were more than building a business. They were part of a community. So, okay, so I'll go back to my slides.
Let's go back to the slides.
I'm sorry. Okay, so that I don't have to say. One thing I absolutely want to stop there, because the mission we talked about, but I think as an entrepreneur, one thing you need to figure out very early on and to think about are the values that you want to project in your business, that you want to manage your business. And for me, transparency, inclusivity, and socially and environmentally responsible were for me the values that I built the entire foundation of my business. I think being transparent, if you see on that picture, the bottle is clear, the liquid is clear, all of the ingredients are on the bottle. For me, that was a value I wanted to share, not only internally with my employees, with my numbers, but also with the products, and make sure that my website, you have all of the information that you are searching for. And if you don't like my product or you don't like an ingredient in my product, at least you've got all of the information to search about it. Inclusivity. I believe that a company that is not inclusive by 2025 or 30 is going to be outdated. I think it's part of growing a business today, and socially and environmentally responsible. As an entrepreneur today, you cannot run businesses without those two aspects. We've got to be involved in our community. We've got to create a local ecosystem, and we have to be mindful of our impact on the environment. So for me, I think, and when we talk about that and the environment, we definitely chose the certification, the B-Corp-certified certification. And I don't know, but I'd like for the ones that know about B Corp to just maybe show to Helen, to Julie and to Rosa, just for me to know if B Corp is something that people know. Probably at District 3, you all know about it. But for me, where I decided to show some points, 95% of my suppliers are within 500 kilometers of my warehouse in Villemar. And I want to touch on that one specifically because we will come back after that because Julie had a good question. Was that good in a COVID crisis, or was that not good? And also make sure that we give employees a chance to do volunteer on the work days. We're very mindful of the transparency, but all on our books, on our financial, on our profit. Right now, the company has gone 3 times the sales, and I want everyone to know all the achievement that this is doing. Made in Canada, very important, biodegradable, and never tested on animals. So for me, those were very my sustainable commitment. Why did I choose Unscented? More than just what I explained it, because we are oversaturated with fragrances. I believe we can live in a world where you can wear perfume on a Friday night, no question asked. I think it's great. But when you open your garbage bags and you open everything and you have lavender on your head and like I said, Mountain Dew on your clothes and cedar on your face cream, at some point, those are chemically made. We don't need that. We can very reduce that. Oh, thank you guys for putting a survey out there. My God, you're efficient. So, whoops, I'm just going to take it out of my, that's it. That I don't need to talk about. I think social media is a way to promote our businesses, but something that really made our business go a different milestone. My first milestone happened January 2019 when Gwyneth Paltrow and our content director, which her name is Elise Lowen, came to Montreal to launch Goop Canada and wanted to meet me because they thought that having a full line of unscented product could be great to detox your home. And so they showed up at our office. Well, actually, we went to have a coffee at the William Gray Hotel in Montreal, and she decided to take the brand and bring it on to Goop.com. And for me, that was a turning point in the business.
Now tell the story of why she was very
She
impressed
was the
with you.
one. But that's it. First of all, she wants to detox her hair. She wants to detox her body. She wants to detox the home. So I think she was looking for something. Whoops, I'm sorry. I'm going to come back. I just want to close this. She wants to detox their home, but why she decided to actually come and meet with me, and this you probably won't believe, when they called the office, I picked up the phone. Today, most people don't pick up phones. It's hard to reach them because you don't see any phone on their website or Facebook, on Instagram. The first thing I did on March 13, when the government decided to stop and put the economy to pause, was to take all of the answering machine at the office and put them to off, because I wanted everyone to be reachable now. People were struggling. People are trying to find products. We need to be there and be available. And even when Gwyneth called, I picked up the phone and I said, hello, can I help you? And she says, oh my God, you're the first one picking up the phone today. And that's when we continued, and that got me a contract with her. And I think, and that made me realize, even if we do have answering machines at home, because if we're not, I said, no, it's enough. No more answering machine, because I know when people need to reach you, we need to be available. So for me, that was a little anecdote, but that brought me, and Gwyneth, to continue on that, to be very honest, she's the one who really sparkled the second milestone, because La Presse and the Gazette wrote an article on us because they really thought it was nice to have Goop come in Canada and pick a Quebec line to bring back to the US. From there, Dragon's Den happened. From there, Urban Outfitters happened. So you know what? At some point, you always have a trigger. You always have someone that sparks your business. You had a question, Julie?
Yeah, well, there's a few questions.
Okay.
It's going to be sidetracking a bit from the slide
go
deck,
ahead.
but it's like, what's your process of improving your product?
Oh my God. That improving quality, packaging, I probably do it too much, because no, it's becoming an issue, because every time I want to improve, I need to change listings. And when you're listed at Loblaws, Jean Coutu, Metro, Sobeys, changing listing because you change an ingredient or you change a master pack or you change anything becomes an issue. But I always change. Why? First thing, like I said, green chemistry improves, my God, every 6 months. We are getting better ingredients, more biodegradable. My dish tabs, for example, was biodegradable by 85%. I had the opportunity to change one petroleum ingredient to a vegetable beet-based ingredient that improved my biodegradability in the ground to 93%. I did not wait a year. I did not wait 3 minutes. I did it now. And now I had to go through the hurdle of all the listing to change. And on top of it, I was able to reduce the size from 15 grams to 12 grams. Is that an issue? It's a huge issue. Transportation, one full pallet less for the same quantity. And warehousing, you reduce your space of warehousing. So the impact of improving the products all the time that you can, I do it. And I don't care. I go through the hurdles of the listing, and now they're getting used to me. And I think hopefully I will change their way of doing business, because we need to move faster today.
Very good. There's another question. Excellent answers, Annie. Thank you.
Well, that's what I'm doing daily right now.
This is awesome. How do you compare yourself to the founder of Body Shop? Do you know the
Body
story?
Shop from Korea?
Yeah.
You know what? When I started the Unscented Company, or even Balikura, I'll say Baliko, but really launched the Unscented Company, I did have the comments of, oh my God, I don't think you're going to do well. It's only unscented. It's a busy, busy industry. Everyone produces soap, cosmetics, beauty products. There's not really space for you. Unscented Company, it's way too niche. I literally never looked at my competition. I never compared it, and I never wanted to compete against these P&G, Body Shop, even Dans un Jardin Québec, or even Fruits et Passion, or SC Johnson, or even Unilever. I'm not those people. I really started this business because I wanted to change consumers' habit, because I wanted to be relevant, or, you know, as Ellen DeGeneres says it in her stand-up comedian, relatable. I wanted people to buy a product because they believe in my values, because it reaches their values, because they want to be part of a local company, because they want to do good to the environment, because they're ready to buy into a different way of cleaning their home. So I don't know about Body Shop. I don't know who owns Body Shop. I know they bought Fruits et Passion, but that's the extent of my knowledge. Fruits et Passion, Dans un Jardin, for me, were very fragrance environment, a bit like Lush. These are not my customers. These are customers, they own their customers, and I'm not trying to pick at them. I have my own customer. And guess what? I'm selling to Lush Cosmetic all of my unscented cleaning products to clean all of their retail space across Canada and the US. Why? Because they don't want to contaminate a cleaning orange scent with their beautiful perfume products. But you know what? Each to his own. The sun is for everyone. Le soleil brille pour tout le monde. So really, did I do a fully marketing competitor research? The answer is no. I started something on a product I needed and I figured somebody else would need. And I'm not trying to compete with any of the big guys, because guess what? I will lose. Those big guys are too big for me. I just want a little place on every shelf, but just a little one. And I'll be very happy.
So let's keep on moving the slides, and we'll talk about, get more questions.
Okay, so we talked about the Dragon's Den. Canadian Tire, I want to talk about that because it's a Canadian company first, because they sponsor the show Dragon's Den, because they decided instead of just giving money to Dragon's Den and CBC, they decided as a Canadian company to be more involved in the Dragon's Den show. And how they did that is that the president, Craig Hicks, decided out of the 5,000 pitch to choose 2 companies and invest in them by giving them a distribution contract. And we were picked. We were picked because Canadian Tire wanted a Canadian company, locally manufactured. They wanted to invest in green products. They wanted to invest in women-owned business, and they wanted to invest in a B Corp. That means those big companies are looking at us social entrepreneurs as an added value to their offering. So if you do have an idea, they are desperate to get some products on the shelf that matters. They don't want all of those products coming from abroad with no meaning, because consumers want to keep going at Canadian Tire, but they want to feel good about a purchasing. about a purchase. And Canadian Tire, my project was a feel-good project for all the VPs, all the way up to the president, because they truly made a difference in a company, a Canadian company. So for me, that's why I like their mission. I like this company. They're a Canadian-owned company, and they really made a difference in my distribution. So that's why I like to thank them anytime I can. So I think with this slides, I think Julie and I talked about it. The crisis, and you stop me, Julie, whenever you have a question.
Go for it.
Go for it, okay. Since March 13, because I remember the date, I was pitching the business at Loblaws in Toronto, March 13 at 1 o'clock. They literally closed the door at 2 when we left and never opened again, their head office. And so when we came back, then we realized business, the only certain things I knew was tomorrow was going to be different. Since the beginning of the pandemic, for me, one struggling was the plastic bottles. As much as I was trying to sell bulk product, as much as I was trying to get my mission out by reducing or single-use plastic usage, as much as I was trying to do it, you know what? Not a lot of people were willing to do it. Not a lot of people were willing to go and refill. And I was trying to, you know what? Okay, let's do those slides. People are going with these distributor in hotels and the shampoo bar. So you know what? I saw all of those big hotel chain trying to change plastic, all the plastic going out. And as much as those articles were out, people were not doing it. Hotels are not willing to let go of that little plastic bottle. And between you guys and me, it is finished. We can't afford as a planet to continue that way. And so I had my own solution with plastic-free shampoo and conditioner bar. Guess what? Plastic pumps are becoming a shortage on the market because we're selling too much hand sanitizer, we're selling too much hand liquids that we can't get the pumps and we can't get the bottles. And so I will be able to change the market much quicker with shampoo bars. And we're not only getting them out, we are going to truly make a difference with the plastic usage. But it took this pandemic to really get the attention of everyone. Now, if the product doesn't work, it won't work. You've got to try it to see if it's efficient. And let me tell you, I've got them on Loofah Farms and I watch daily the comments and we are very well rated at 5 stars. So the product works and we will be able to truly make a big difference. And if you can see my little 3 products, I've got it shampoo, conditioner, soap bar in a little box. Those are really 12, no, that one is 19 grams for hotels. So that's my solution to reduce plastic bottles in hotels once the hotels go on again. But because people will have seen and use the shampoo bar. So it won't be a new thing because guess what? We got to use the soap bar again. Bottles and caps are a very difficult things to get. And I want to show you, even if, I will come back to this one. Even if my bottle is in Quebec, manufactured in Quebec, my label is manufactured in Saint Julie. My soap is manufactured in Belleuil. My graphic design is Montreal. The mountain you see is le lac Ouimet dans les Laurentides near Tremblant. But my pump is from China. And now during the pandemic, we could not, since December, get any boat out of China because they closed their market. And it was very hard to get people work at the port to send out containers. And I realized that my entire business, even if as I'm good as 95% supply ship in Canada or Quebec, 500 kilometers from my head office, my headquarters, it meant nothing. I could lose all of my sales because I didn't have the pump to put on it. And so, la morale de l'histoire, so how do you say it in English, Julie? La morale de l'histoire,
I'm not sure.
What I'm taking out of this is that it's not good enough. It's not good enough. We have to have plan B, and we have to be 100% manufactured here in Canada, not to have these issues anymore. Our economy to be strong, to be sustainable and resilient needs to be local, period.
The moral of the story.
The moral of the story. Thank you. Maybe someone help me. That's
it. But so with how did you manage to change the pump? What were the solutions you found to replace the pump?
I finally struggled. Some bottles have shampoo caps. I did find a bit pumps that were pink, others silver. I struggled to get a bit of stock out of everyone. We simply put a normal cap on it. And I told people to start using bar soap with no plastic pump. And it's the same soap. We can go back to the bar of soap with no plastic, reduce our plastic footprint tomorrow morning if we want. We don't need to sell liquid hand soap. So I was able to offer that. I was able to, and we were out of stock for 3 weeks. And what I needed to do is that my customers were used to keep their bottle and refill it. So I started selling a lot of 4 liters, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. But all of these are the shampoo, and I'm going to tell you after, but this one. So all of my refill station started to just skyrocket sales on the web in my stores, because people would buy the refill, even the little 4-liter refills. You see the baby refill, and they reuse their bottles. So I kept telling them, you know what? Don't throw your bottles. Keep it, refill it. So that's how I was able in my community to really get through this. And if you can see, I put all of my info. The box is made here on the island of Montreal with a 95% recycled car box. And to confirm your first questions, as of May 1st, it's 100% recyclable cardboard in every box. And my bag is made in Ontario and near Toronto. So for me, that's very important also to have locally made boxes and bags. So that's how I was able to get through this.
So you're basically going, the moral of the story, to repeat, is going locally sourced 100%.
Yep.
That's the way
locally sourced. You've got to have bulk to reduce the amount of packaging. So if there's a shortage, you still can continue your business. And we have to go solid. Eventually, I will be the first cleaning and body products to have the entire line offered in solid with no more water, no more plastic packaging.
Wow, awesome. There's a few questions that popped up.
Okay.
One is it's a story from a person. It's like, you're going to love this. The Unscented dish soap was a game changer for my father who has epilepsy. He is very sensitive to synthetic scents, which would cause him to have seizures while doing the dishes. So it was a game changer. So that person says, have you noticed an outreach or a positive feedback from the medical perspective about the
Yes,
products?
it's true. Not in that sense. What I had is people doing l'apnée du sommeil, the ones that have a hard time sleeping, and they put a mask, and having to clean the mask with the dish soap that was unscented became a game changer in that field. But that's the first time I hear such a story. It's wonderful to hear. We do have a lot of people with allergy or asthma being triggered with scents, but Caesar never heard that. And this is wonderful. My God.
Yeah,
That really touches me. Thank you.
that's really cool to
That
see.
really, yeah, it's emotionally touching to be able to say that my dish soap prevents the people to do that. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, to have seizures, it's wow. See,
Wow,
you
thank
make a
you.
difference.
Yeah.
If we want to go back to your slide of all your
Yes.
customers, Canadian Tire, Whole
Yes,
Foods, and all
yes,
that.
yes. I'm going back. This is my proudly daughter, AnnaBeatriz, that will only refill in her life because that's the only thing she knows. So I'm trying to make sure kids, yeah, these are all only the products. I like to keep it. So yes, this is just the top customers.
So
Actually,
yeah, the question that it's from
everywhere.
Yeah, each one is a different key customers.
Yeah.
And what are the distribution needs? Like each one is different, right?
Each one is different. As much as
What are they looking for?
Ritz-Carlton is definitely a B2B business, Lush Cosmetic for me is a B2B business. Bulk Barn was part of the first ones that signed with the Unscented Company. And I was still not able to convince them to go to bulk. They're buying only bottles of 500 ml. But they were the first one representing the Unscented Company across Canada. And so for me, the retail at Bulk Barn makes sense because eventually they'll take bulk products and they'll resell dish and laundry and hand soap in bulk. Whole Food is pretty new. I have to tell you, I had an email this morning and it's been rolled out in the Northeast Whole Food in the US as of yesterday morning. So we had the contract, but I guess it was sitting in the warehouses with all going on. So now we're officially inside. Whole Food is my community, is my grassroots community, as I would call them. I don't have to sell anything to them because they're really sold on eco-friendly, healthier, biodegradable. HomeSense came to me 2 years ago, wanted to distribute the Unscented Company. And at the beginning, I said, no, there's no way you're going to have it. And she says, Anie, our customers have a desire to improve their health. And we see that when we go into the natural, we need to be able to offer them to that consumer that needs to have access to these products that are not going to go to the Whole Foods. So I decided to say yes. Lufa Farm for me is a game changer. Lufa Farm is I don't know if everyone knows what they offer, but it's a online grocery shopping, mainly grown on the roof of, it's locally manufactured, it's urban farming, tomato, cucumber, and they decided to grow a market. So right now, since March, they are growing like crazy. I would sell them maybe $50,000 a year. Now it's every 2 weeks because people are really doing their online grocery. So I think this niche of having local delivery in a basket, the only thing they can do is unscented, because I don't want to have a lavender dish soap with synthetic fragrance inside my wonderful salad, tomato, cucumber basket mix all that smell. I want to smell the vegetable when I receive my loofah basket. And so they decided to go with Unscented, and it's actually working. Canadian Tire was a deal with Dragon's Den, and they really are doing increased sales of 22% monthly. So I think their mission of wanting to add more eco-friendly was just right on. Costco, why did I decide to go with them? Bulk. I am selling only Costco online 10 liters. And I want people to change their habits. And if you have a small business, go buy bulk and don't use plastic small bulk business. So you know what? I think my community is a bit everywhere, and I want to offer them the option to buy in their habits. The only way we're going to change consumers' habit, the only way we're going to make things happen is if I am available everywhere, not if I stay only at Avril, Taux, or Rachel Berry here in Montreal locally. I won't have a big impact. I will have an impact, and we will change consumers' habit if we are offered to different distribution chains.
Cool. There's a question relating to exactly the different customer profiles. How do you manage the different customer profiles versus the complexity of the operations? Because each key customer you have in there have different asks from you.
Absolutely.
How do you manage that?
Well, okay. Canadian, no, absolutely. And they are, but I'm going to let you on a little secret. It's all easy. There's nothing complex about it. The complexity comes into the first one you do it. I had Canadian Tire when they said, okay, we're going to bring you on board. Hello. When you have a portal to manage, a specs, but they helped me go through the specs, and I did it step by step. And now everyone that comes on board, it's the same information they're asking me. So the secret is once you get one, you do it correctly, you have all of your specs and your pallet specs and your weight, and it's always the same. The portals, okay, they look a bit different, but I just finished Loblaws this week, and it was easy because it was the same questions. And so I think it's to be organized and do it once properly, put everything on drive, and the next one comes along. Easy. Urban Outfitter, within, I would say 24 hours, it was okay. You do the tutorials, and honestly, as much as I thought that I would never be dealing with those big guys because I was afraid of them, now, not at all. What's a bit tricky is all of this negotiation on listing fees. That was a bit tricky. So I had to learn a bit on that, but the setup and everything, it's good. The only thing is that listing fees, but I don't think there's going to be listing fees very long. I don't think that's sustainable to continuing.
How does that work for people who don't familiar?
Know? Is that to be on the shelves of a Loblaws or a Metro or a Sobeys, they ask you money per SKU, and it can go up to $15,000 a SKU.
Wow.
So all of us, small local business that wants to have access to the shelf of those big companies, it's impossible. You cannot have a $15 investment per SKU. So you kind of don't go. But you know what? The market is asking for our company. The market wants to buy our products. They don't have a choice anymore. So they're willing to bring you on board with no listing fees, because they need to do their part in the local economy. So if you have an idea, if it is possible to put it on the shelf with no listing fees.
This is great value.
Go for it. No? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So there's more a personal, a few personal questions. It's how do you manage a demanding business life versus your personal life? How to be purposeful or sustainable in both sides? So
Okay.
work family
Well, yeah.
management.
Well, when I started the business, I was 42. The kids were 2 and 4 years old. And the first thing I wrote on a white piece of paper, sitting down in a cafe on Notre Dame, I remember this. This is my to-do list to start my business. A blank page. First objective, my priority is my family. Once you establish that, I never had to struggle. I think being an entrepreneur is the best job ever to combine and conciliate your family and your business. Yes, I do get those rush and I have to tell the kids, not now, I'll be available in 10 minutes, like any other mother. But at 5 o'clock, I close the door at the office. I go home. I do the same thing as everyone, dinner, homework, play, walk with the kids, whatever, but it's family time and weekends also. Did the past 8 weeks, did I go to the office on Sunday morning? Yes, I did spend 3-4 hours, but I made sure to come back and say at 10 o'clock, it's enough, it's finished. My priority is the family and I'm able to respect that. And now you guys are much luckier because this time has shown us entrepreneur that we can be efficient at home, we can work less hours and be as productive. As an entrepreneur, maybe I did have that, how do I say this? That thought that we were more productive at the office than home. Le télétravail or working from home is as efficient today. So you really can even better be conciliate with your family and your, well, it's not the same. Right now, the kids are home. I'm very happy. The kids are 10 and 12. No, sorry, 11 and 12. No. So really, they're not babies. Right now, I think it's very, very tough for women. We have to be understandable. I have a mother of 2 young children. I'm not expecting her to work during the hours I work. I think she gets up and does it from 6 to 9, and after it's not possible. And it's okay. Right now, I'm not expecting anything of her. And if a mother or a father wants to do their laundry at 10 o'clock, so be it. It's perfect. Let's do this all together. It's going to work. It's not as, say, we go to the office, we take a coffee, we chat. It's the same time as me putting my load of laundry at 10 o'clock and as I'm efficient at home. So yes, we can do both.
Is there anything that you wish to have done differently or improved in your entrepreneurial journey? What would you have done differently from when you learned?
Stay focused. If I have only one thing, I try to listen to everyone by not focusing on what I do best, which was cleaning and home products unscented. People wanted me to bring and come up with fragrances on the side so people could do DIY, and because YouTube was very hot on DIY, and after that I had people come up with other ideas that would bring me out of my focus. And that was a mistake because I lost a lot of money that I could have put directly in my business. Second, stay focused in my distribution versus web. At some point, I will have to make a decision. I'm a bit too everywhere, too much retail, very web. And right now I'm investing in both. And I don't think that's going to be sustainable. So it's challenges and I have to do things differently. But right now, I don't know what tomorrow will be like. So I'm kind of testing out a few things and see how it's going to be and rethink about distribution. But I think we need to stay focused.
Excellent answer. Another another question. We're almost out of time, guys.
Okay.
One person is like, do you offer mentorship to other entrepreneurs?
Yes, yes, I sure do. I do have two small companies right now that, well, they're not small. Catherine, I started her, she had 20,000 in sales, and right now she has 200,000 beauty cosmetic products. She's doing very well. Yes, I think you always want to do one thing in your life. You always want to pull, and regardless at what stage you're at, you pull someone up, but you have someone to bring you up also. And I have one mentor, but I'm searching for others. I would like to have 3-4 people around me to bring me higher. But I certainly do 2 people right now that I'm pulling up, that I mentor.
Cool. And how did they get it? It's personal relationship? It's people that you knew?
No. Actually, conferences. The other one was the niece of a friend. True, it's personal contacts. Before that, people you would meet through, people pick up the phone and call me, or people write me emails. And as soon as you read a good email and it's authentic, I will pick up the phone and call back. Oh, can I call back everyone these days? It's tough. So we have to be patient, and maybe sometimes 2 or 3 times, but I reply to everyone.
Cool. Well, we're almost, we are out of time. The hour just flew by.
Thank you, Julie.
No, any last words of wisdom that you can share with our friends?
But wisdom, I don't know if it's wisdom, but right now I think the more we go on those initiatives, I think right now innovation and creativity has never been so important. We have to go through something that is unprecedented.
Yeah.
And the only way we're going to really come out of it is by just putting everything aside and rethink it. And you guys give us the opportunity to talk about it. And I think it's very relevant these days. So keep on the good work and don't be afraid to think outside the box. It's the right time, because now, even if you fail, no one will say a word because it's normal. So do fail now quickly so you can start back and make it happen.
Fail fast.
Fast now, because now no one will care about it. It's a very different time.
Exactly. Anie Rouleau, thank you so much for being part of this panel, this dialogue. We greatly appreciate, and good luck in your future endeavors, and keep on being true to yourself.
Thank you.
And to our people left, we have ideation for social entrepreneurs. Ideation it's a 4-week program coming up that actually looks, if you have an idea, how do we understand the ecosystem and mapping it out and understanding, and that's even before validating your business model. So it's to help you out. Come on our website, come and apply, and we're going to be starting on June 22nd. It's a 4-week program on a weekly basis. Welcome, everyone, and thank you very much, Anie. God bless.
Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.